package. It's a BXpanded Piranha Bar, which everything I've read and seen is probably the best bar out there. It's debatable, and I'm sure it's technique, related, but I bought one. For a big hunk of steel, it's maybe a little bit light packaging. It's kind of crushed and dented, but it's a bar that's going to get probably crushed and dented in use, so it's probably appropriate. Wow, a brand new Piranha Bar. So this was ordered 2.5 or 3 weeks ago, and I think they make everyone to order. It looks like it's got a nice, I don't know if it's powder coat or if it's a spray coating, but it looks fairly rugged. So what I did, I followed their instructions, and I measured, and we'll see how well this works because I've not done this. I measured inside my bucket to the nearest 1/4 inch, which for me was 46 1/4 inches. So that's what I told them. So now we see if that worked. I also ordered the optional step drill bit, which they offer on the website. And I have a step drill bit, but I'm always game to buy another step drill bit. Step drill bit. Instruction. Expanded Piranha Bar. Slotted. If you're taking this off and using your existing edge, it's going to wear, it's going to move back, and as it does, this whole unit will have to move back with it, so the slot allows that to happen. I intend to keep this on it, and if I don't have this on it, I intend to get the straight bar that they also sell at BXpanded. So I'll have a tooth or the straight, and that'll protect my welded on stock scraper. You might want to wear gloves. It's amazing. It's amazingly sharp for such a big chunk of steel. That's a good sign those go in. So my bucket has sagged a bit in use, probably from trying to lift rocks and things that are too heavy for it. So it's actually sagged here, which makes it hard to just slide this right on. You can see this gap here my finger's in right now. So this has to be driven back. This edge should be, tighter in the crotch of this finger here, and all of these fingers. Let's see how far that went on. Man, I really am amazed how sharp those are. I don't imagine they'll stay sharp like that for long, but I think that could definitely cut you if you were paying attention in your shin. Holy moly. You walk into that and you're gonna know it. I'm imagining the hole's gonna be drilled somewhere down near the back end of this slot. So as this thing needs to push in, it has somewhere to push into. You can see this is pretty tight to this side, and over here there's a, I don't know, 1/4 inch gap or so. And now it's pretty much centered on either side, so I've got my Piranha Bar centered left to right. My clamp on. Alright, then this is a felt tip pen. Place your slot. And then take the bar back off again. Alright, and that's where your small adhesive back drill guide comes into play. I guess I got to cut these out, so I'm going to take some scissors and snip out, but the idea is that this circle is going to be positioned 1/8 inch back, and it's going to give me a center point to punch on. Doesn't have to be perfect, but there it is. Ah, so satisfying once you get it. Okay, so you got this little roundy sticker with a nice little cross mark in the middle of it. They said about 1/8 inch ahead of the rear of that slot. So I'm going to position this thing. Have a hammer, have a center punch, got some gloves, got some eyewear, not really eye protection, but should be. Put that on my center punch. Put the center punch on my crosshairs. That looks pretty good. We're back to our trusty instructions, which are going to tell me, starting in the pilot hole, drill a 3/4 inch diameter. All right, well, 3/4 inch diameter is the final biggest hole I can drill with this step drill. So let's see how this goes. Slow that down a little bit. Let's see how it goes. All right, well, not bad. That's pretty close, centered enough. I'm going to drill the rest through this way. So it's too bad the step bit's not a little bit bigger than the 3/4 inch. Like they gave you an inch step bit. These make a nice chamfer and they clear the burrs off if you can just butt up against the next biggest size. So the burrs that I'm getting on the inside and the outside of this hole, if we had a step drill that went to an inch, we could just kiss it with the next hole size and would take that burr off. So suggestion to BXpanded, instead of the 3/4 inch exactly, put a 1 inch step drill, which will give you the 3/4 hole. You can stop there and then you can use this to chamfer your hole. Probably not cost a whole lot more. The bolt BXpanded provided is flush to the nut when it's tightened with the stack, the washer, the lock washer, the washer on the outside. So there's no threaded fastener hanging out in the breeze to get whacked by rocks and get wrecked. So it's protected. So you probably don't have to worry about which way you put it in. I think you can go with looks and have the bolt head on the outside and the nut on the inside. I'll tell you, these are sharp. If you walk in your garage, in your shop, your barn, and you manage to pick it like that by accident, you're definitely going to take a chunk out of your leg. And these are, I mean, they'll dull as soon as I start digging into some rocks with them. They'll round over a bit, but right now, man, they are no joke. A trusty camera lady, a trusty cameraman, made a good suggestion that, and maybe people already do this, I don't know, but if you're storing your bucket, don't store it up. Leave the teeth down, you know, when you're done. And mine's already settled in with its hydraulics, so it's going to spring back. But when you finish, level it out. And then it's not up in the air to jab you. And if it's down low, you're not going to jam it into your shin. So that's a good idea. So I'm probably going to do that. Or dig it in and aim it towards the ground.